from Tampa Bay. Tonight, obviously, I'm doing a little night ride. I'm going to go down and visit a buddy. Got some stuff to drop off to him down in St. Pete. So what I figure I'd do is take you down the new roads they built for US 19. I've never actually done the whole length of it to see where it dumps out exactly. I usually take the freeway. Well, I take McMullen Booth and then the freeway to get down to him because he's right pretty much next to Tropicana Field downtown. But freeway is kind of boring, and I want to see how the whole new road stretch is, especially since there's no traffic out. It's about 9:45 at night here on a Saturday, so it should be a pretty nice ride, especially since they only have one light on the whole road now, and that's going to be completed and that overpass activated next month after that, some few weeks. So I figured I'd just make this pretty much a relaxing ride. I'm going to get out onto the road and just kind of let you guys chill. I figured a few things out. Oh, this is also my first real ride with the new bar ends. So far they are like butter. You know, I've had a number of people comment that they've tried them even on this specific bike and year and everything. Okay, this is all new. Even since yesterday. He's turning, so I'll go this way. They just closed what was the old road and opened up the... No, actually, this is... Yeah, this is the road they just built. I wonder if they finally opened up Darlington here. That would be awesome. Because then I don't have to go way down to Sunray all the time. Yeah, it looks like they just switched everything. So now Sunray is closed and Darlington is open. Well, that's perfect because I hated Sunray. Oh, this is nice. Cool. Well, now I know I have my fast way back to US 19. So very good there. Anyway, like I was saying, this is my first real ride with these bar ends. Oh, they are absolutely perfect on my bike. I mean, I don't detect a bit of vibration. Even I'm sitting just below 3,000 right now. Even with the stock ones, I mean, it wasn't bad, but I could feel something. And these are, I mean, it's like I'm holding my hands out in front of me. There's just nothing there. So that's cool. And I put up the video post and everything to one of the big forums and one of the Facebook groups for FJRs and that kind of stuff. And as I said in that install video, I mean, it really does depend on your specific bike if it's going to be a solution for you, if this particular weight is going to be a solution for you, or if any weights are going to be a solution for you. If you've got vibration in your handlebars, it might fix it just by adding weight. It might not. A throttle body sync might be the cure. Now this is obviously a very new bike. It only has a little over 500 miles on it. I'm hoping to push it above 600 by the end of tonight so I can do my break-in stuff tomorrow and next week. Oil changes and stuff, all that. But if your throttle bodies are out of sync, it's going to create excess vibration, more than just the natural vibration from the engine. So adding bars isn't going to do anything. You're still going to have some really out of whack stuff going on. So you may need to do a throttle body sync in addition to bar ends, but you won't know until you do the sync and see what happens. And then of course, I mean, every bike is a little different. Every engine produced isn't going to be the same. So what works for my particular bike and others, there have been a lot of people that said, yeah, I've used those and they were awesome. And a couple guys have bought them because of my video already and they said it was awesome. So, I mean, it obviously works for some people. One guy said he put them on and it made it 10 times worse. And he says, well, I didn't really have much vibration in the end, but I put them on and now at 1500 RPM and up, it's horrible. I'm like, if you didn't have much vibration to begin with, why did you put anything on? Of course, that's going to mess things up. I mean, if you were already at a good resonance to begin with, you don't need to mess with it. The point of doing it is to change what you have to make it better. If you don't need to do a change, you don't. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that's, I mean, kind of simple. But on my bike, it was just what the doctor ordered. But I'm not saying that it's going to work the same or even as good for anybody else. You're going to have to try it yourself. Describing the symptoms of mine, it was just a slight but noticeable vibration right around 4,000 RPM. Let me see if I can go down to 4th and get it in that range. Because that's right where I'm cruising, about 70 to 80. And that's great. So, your mileage may vary, you know. And who knows, if I find that there's another frequency range that's kind of annoying, I might put the stock ones back on. You know, like I said, it wasn't severe. But no matter what, I'm going to wait until after I do the 600-mile break-in stuff, because that includes a throttle body sync, and it's going to change things. Something else I wanted to mention, if you're doing any kind of long filming with the GoPro, something that's that reminds me, I want to put my suspension on soft. Something that I've noticed with this 3 Plus Black is it pulls as much power in standby mode as filming. Oh, I'm already in soft, that's why I was bouncing. Okay. So basically, I get about an hour and 20 minutes or so of time out of the battery, whether I'm recording or not. So I could stop this video right now. I can't see what I've been recording for, but probably about 10 minutes. And if I just had it sitting there in standby mode for an hour and 10, the battery would be shot. So what I'm doing now, because I do like doing longer videos, and I do cut it off and turn it on later when there's something more exciting to show, I'm carrying an extra battery. So I know that, you know, I left the house at 9:45, and it's 9:52 now, so I've been recording about 12 minutes. If I hit the hour and a quarter mark, I'm just going to swap in a new battery. So that gives me 2.5 hours of time to do whatever I want. But I found that out the hard way on the last video. It cut out coming across the nice drive there over the water. And I didn't know, of course, until I got home. I had planned on cutting it off after about another 10 minutes when I got over to the other side, but I only filmed about, I don't know, a minute and a half worth, if that. So, just a little tip there. The old GoPros weren't like that. When you put them into standby, it pretty much sat there for hours. But the new one here, specifically because I'm using the Wi-Fi function, because I have the little remote down there, that's the red light you see. And I use that because I can't see the camera to stop and start. And the red light lets me know that it's recording. And it tells me how much battery life I have and everything. I've got a little screen on it. I wish it was backlit too, because I can't see anything at night. But primarily it's just a remote button to stop and start, and a visual feedback that I am recording because I can't see the camera. So if something screws up, I wouldn't know it if I didn't have that remote. But the remote runs off Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi takes up a lot of battery power. If I turn the Wi-Fi off, you get a lot more life out of the GoPro battery. It's kind of hard to talk in this helmet because these cheek pads are really stiff, and they squish my cheeks together. Oh, not this again. Cancel. I thought I had that licked. I turned the sensitivity down, but I might have to disable the function. Thought I had that at a pretty good combo of activating the visor a little lighter and turning down the sensitivity of the tap to voice command feature. Maybe I'll just have to do the visor real slow. I don't know. But anyway, alright, we're going to hit the nicer part of 19 in about another 10 minutes. There's really nothing to see yet, so I'm gonna sign off for now, and I'll pick back up when we get to that part. Okay, now we're getting into the start of the project. This is one of the original overpasses. It was built along 19, going over Main Street in Dunedin. This takes us through the side of Clearwater, in between Safety Harbor and Clearwater and Dunedin. And they're still doing construction from this part for the next few miles. This is the last bit of it. Used to be a lot of center turns and intersections and lights, and this whole road was just an absolute nightmare at rush hour. Just undrivable. But now that's all solved. So I'll shut up now and give you a little relaxing ride. While I'm down in St. Pete, I might go over, I have to see how much cash I have, but I might go over the Skyway Bridge, show you what that looks like at night. So there we go. That's our new stretch of 19. Now we're in St. Pete. And now I'm just going to figure out how to get from here to my buddy. I'm not exactly sure, but I know where Tropicana Field is, so I know that this will get me there eventually. I'm going to have to cut left at some point. And then if it's not too late, probably going to hang out there a little while. I'll zip down the bridge and maybe shoot some video down there. I don't know. Oh, I contacted Lamb Seats, and the guy's a one-man band just like me, so I didn't hear anything for a few days, and then I asked on one of the forums, you know, is he typically really busy? Because we are in summer, obviously it's riding season, so he's probably slammed. And people said, yeah, give him a week or two to respond, so that's cool. You know, no huge rush of the seat or anything. It's not like I need it right now or anything like that, but as soon as possible, I'll order one. And that actually works out fine because I'll have the oil change video, the throttle body sync video, and the final gear drive change video, and I'll just bank those and I'll put them up while my seat is out. It's still going to be a 2-week process or so without the seat, so I won't be able to ride. No big deal there, but I'll probably be doing all that work tomorrow. The wife and I are probably going to do a ride at lunch. Going to test out 2-up video recording because she has the Senna SMH10 unit on her helmet. I installed that. Looks real nice. I'll show you that too. And we should both be able to record to the GoPro at the same time wirelessly. So that should be pretty cool if it works. We haven't tested it yet. I haven't even fully set up my 20S yet to do phone controls or stuff like that. Just haven't had the time. I have been absolutely swamped with work. I should be working right now, but I need a break. Not that I'm complaining, but oh my God, just big project after big project. I've been doing a lot of websites lately. I just put another one live tonight, felixthedj.com. I pretty much just do wedding vendors that I know, local. You know, it's not like I really advertise website work or anything. It takes too much time and it gets boring. So I always have at least one on my plate, but it's not my main business or anything like that. Or I do them for some of my commercial photography clients, and I have one big one to do there, and then possibly a huge one in a couple weeks. He's still kind of thinking about it. He had contracted with another company and they turned out to be just bullshit. He paid him 16 grand. 2 years later, he still doesn't have a website. So he's kind of getting the hint that he's got to go somewhere else and, you know, maybe look into a lawyer to get some money back. But I told him I could do it. I'm just really slammed, and it would be December. But hey, December is better than never, so he's thinking about it. And it's not like I'm expensive or anything, but it depends on the project, how much I charge. And his is a big one because he's a cigar store and he's got thousands of products, so it's a lot of work and a lot of time. That's why I said December. Rider's Edge, Learn to Ride. That is a Harley sponsored group. They do riding lessons every weekend at pretty much every Harley dealer around here. You get to learn on a little Buell Blast, little single cylinder, what is it, I think a 400cc, something like that, 4 something. Basically they took a Sportster, the small one, and cut the block in half. But Harley doesn't do Buell anymore, so I'm not sure if those are the bikes they're still using. But they were back when I took the course in 8 years ago. They still had Harley courses and they were using the Buell Blast. Maybe they use their new little street bike now, I don't know. But you can also do courses privately. That's what I did. And you just have a hodgepodge of little bikes. They'll have all kinds of little stuff. Alright, well, I'm going to sign off again. And when I get down to my buddies, figure out what I'm going to do. And after that, I'll show you the bridge. Alright, I found where 19 hit the freeway here. And I had been down there before, just never all the way that way. Anyway, this is his exit. I thought of something else I wanted to mention. In a previous video, I had told you guys about a really cool riding instruction and tip video, and I think I mentioned the wrong name. I think I called it Twist the Throttle 2. That's not the name. It's called Twist of the Wrist 2. I think I told you the wrong name. I'm not 100% sure. But I gave the link to somebody that was asking about riding tips tonight, so I looked it up and it just reminded me. I can't remember what name I said in the previous video, but just go to YouTube and search for Twist of the Wrist 2. And it's about an hour and a half long. Excellent, excellent movie, video, whatever, for all kinds of riding tips. I mean, everything from how to corner, how to get better times, how to ride safer, all kinds of good stuff. This next exit is where I get off. We're dumping right down into St. Pete here. The stadium's just that way. Downtown and the pier is pretty much a mile straight, and then there's water, and right across from there, Tampa Bay. And he's within walking distance of everything. They've got this huge thing down here called First Fridays, and the first Friday of every month they close the main street, which has a lot of bars and nightclubs and all that kind of stuff, and they close it to cars. So it's just pedestrian traffic, and it makes it really nice and a lot safer to go out and have a nice night out. Things here aren't too expensive. It's not like Miami Beach, but then again, the clubs aren't big or anything like that. But it's the only scene in the entire county with any kind of nightlife. Pretty much you have to go over to Ybor City in Tampa, and that's not as good. It's kind of sketchy, a lot of ghetto stuff down there, a lot of gunfights, and it's just not as nice crowd compared to St. Pete. But I don't do it much. I've gone out for a couple birthday parties and stuff like that. But other than that, nope. Too old, no time. But it's nice. Here's his street. Looks like they got a ball game going on. It's another baseball field down there outside. Straight ahead it ends at the marina. Here's his building. I could have parked there. I'll park here. Alright. So I'll see you guys when I'm done here. I'll take you down to see the bridge. Alright, leaving my buddies here. Right as I rolled up, I looked down and there was a chick on the ground, like kind of kicking somebody. It's hard for me to see because she was laying on her back. And I couldn't tell if she was just drunk or if it was a fight, because it's like drunk central around here. So it's nothing unusual to see people drunk out on the streets. And she was like carrying on and, flailing around. Kind of looked like she was trying to kick somebody from the ground, but she wasn't screaming or anything like that. And then she just kind of laid down, and I don't know, I just kind of put it out of my head, but the ambulance and cops just rolled up, so obviously it was some kind of fight. That's St. Pete for you. Alright, a little low on fuel, but we got enough to do what I want to do. Alright, now I'm going to head back to the freeway real quick. We'll go down and go over the bridge. Oh, you know what? I got to see if I have any cash. Because it is cash only. Yeah, she's just drunk. Down here in Florida, though, for any kind of call or even a car accident, they have to deploy full emergency services. So even when there's a fender bender, you get a fire truck. It's kind of stupid. It's for all the old farts down here where, you know, you touch them, they're in serious trouble. But any kind of emergency call like that, everything comes out. I mean, they had cops and 2 ambulances there for a drunk girl. That's just Florida. Darn it, I meant to pull over there and check my cash. Oh, I know I've got a 5. Because I looked earlier when the wife wanted pizza, and that's all I had, so I had to charge it. We're going to hop on 275 South. We're pretty much to the end of it right here. There's not that much left. And then you go over the Skyway, which is the second bridge in that location, and it goes from the tip of Pinellas County over the bottom of Tampa Bay into southern Hillsborough County. And I say it's the second bridge because the first one was destroyed by a ship, accidentally, of course. It was an older bridge, and about 30 years ago, a ship misnavigated and hit one of the pilings, and it was not good. So they had to rebuild a second bridge, and of course they made it better and larger and put the channel in the right place so they weren't fighting currents like they were on the old bridge. That was the problem. Because we have a lot of big ships that come into the port of Tampa, especially ore container ships. And we also have a cruise port here, but it looks like it might be shutting down. Right now there's just Carnival and I think Royal Caribbean, maybe Celebrity, I can't remember, but Carnival's the main client at the port of Tampa. But it's a really small one because when they built the second bridge, they didn't really take into account the future. I don't think too many people expected cruise ships to develop into the gargantuan ships that they are today. Here in Florida, we have the best ports around. We have Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Orlando or Cape Canaveral, and Tampa. Tampa is the only one limited because all the ships have to go under the bridge. The other ports are open right into the Gulf, or right into the ocean. So the problem is the ships they have here in Tampa are the only ones that will fit under the bridge. And unfortunately that means they're the old crappy ships. So none of the cool new ones, pretty much the last ones in the last 10 years, can go to the port of Tampa. And as a result, their business is just plummeting because people don't like those crappy old ships. They're not fun, they're dirtier, there's not as many things to do. I mean, the new ships are 2 to 3 times the size of these older ships. So they were talking about completely canceling all cruise dockings at this port and pretty much shutting it down. They delayed it a year, and now there's talk of tearing down this bridge and building a bigger one just to accommodate the larger cruise ships, because they realize that the port of Tampa cruise business is huge for Tampa. I mean, it is huge for business. You've got not only the parking but all the local stuff right around the port, which is in flux right now too. It's a big area called Channelside. If you've ever been to a cruise, you know that wherever you get off, there's stuff to do. You know, every little town or area of a cruise terminal has shopping, all that kind of stuff. Well, the one here in Tampa, right at the cruise terminal, you've got the Florida Aquarium, which is very popular. You have an area called Channelside, which had all those kinds of shops and restaurants and a cool bowling alley and club and all kinds of stuff. Well, it's vacant right now because basically of mismanagement. And it's been for sale, it's been foreclosed, it's completely vacant right now. So now the Port of Tampa is nothing. There's nothing to do for anybody coming into the Port of Tampa, which basically means it's not a cruise stop anymore. It's just a departure and arrival docking area. But you don't have anybody coming to Tampa just to come to Tampa, like Cozumel or any place else where you don't have any cruises that originate from there. So they realize that for the future, if they don't make something to keep all the cruises coming to Tampa, well, they just lost a huge amount of business, which is already really impacting the area. So I mean, it's obviously multi-million, probably $100 million was the last quote to put up a new bridge. But the loss of revenue would outstrip that in just a couple of years if they don't. So they don't really have a choice. But it's just kind of odd because this bridge is so new and there's nothing wrong with it whatsoever other than it wasn't too future-proof. So now we're on the lead up to it. I guess I'll just stop, and that's the only kind of annoying thing when you're on a bike. You can't get into your pockets really conveniently. I meant to pull out that 5 so I could put it in my glove box here. But, you know, if you're going through a drive-through at a bank or anything like that, it's kind of annoying. Here at toll booths, I mean, if I was taking a trip, say going down to the Keys, for example, I would hit about 12 different toll booths. So you pretty much have to keep a lot of cash in your glove box or somewhere that's available in a tank bag or something. Because, man, you're pulling it out left and right. Same thing going over past Orlando. It's just toll booth after toll booth after toll booth. If I was doing that regularly, I would get the Sun Pass, which is an electronic device, and you can just cruise on through the left lane here. But I hardly ever go through these tolls anymore. They used to have them on the drawbridges going to the beach before they built the nice overpasses. So I would always keep a ton of change in my car because pretty much every time I go down to the beach for a shoot, I'm spending a few bucks in toll. Alright. Let's get the change out here, or the fiver. Hello. Thank you. So I'll give you guys a little relaxing ride over the bridge here. Some other day when it's light out, I'll take you down and show you all the little stuff around the bridge. There's fishing piers on either side. They're really nice, and they are actually the remnants of the old bridge. They just took out the whole center part that was damaged, left the entrance and exit basically that goes out into the water, and now you can go out there 24 hours and fish for a small fee. there you go. There's our Skyway bridge at night. I got 585 miles. I'll be done with braking officially by the time I get home. I'm ready for my third tank of gas. Woohoo! Finally.